Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegas Tips and Tricks for October the 26th, 2019. Today we're going to talk about fees. Is Las Vegas really nickel and diming you to death, driving away customers? Is it out of control? We're going to talk about that. First, just a few housekeeping details. We did hit 900 subscribers last weekend, as you know, if you checked out my Chugging a Caesar video, which you probably don't need to really check out. But in any case, I believe when I checked this morning, I think we were 918, so we've gained another 30 subscribers since last week. And so really getting close to that 1,000 mark. So thanks to all the new subscribers. Hopefully you'll find the information contained in this video and in all the other videos that we've done to be helpful to you as you prepare for your visit to Las Vegas. Okay, fees. Let me just say, before I sort of go on a kind of anti-rant here, that I too am offended by all the hidden fees that I get when I go to Las Vegas. But you know what? I'm also offended by all the hidden fees I get in my everyday life. You get a copy of your cable television bill, your cell phone bill, or even your heating bill or your electric bill. Yeah, there's a number on the top. Then there's like a half a dozen or more other lines of all these little taxes and fees that people add in at the end. It's everywhere. In fact, the worst hidden fee of them all that is almost never attached to a product when you purchase it is the sales tax. Why is that? The government would be very happy to regulate how other people charge fees, but it doesn't want you to know when you see an item for $9.97 that you're going to need substantially more than $10 to actually buy it. So fees are everywhere. Hidden fees are everywhere. Misleading fees are everywhere, including Las Vegas. And I guess the point of the video today is I don't want you to get so worked up about these little, as they say, nickel and dime fees that get passed on to you that you don't enjoy your Las Vegas experience. You know, I heard a report, I think it's been a couple of weeks now, that because of all the complaints, reasonable complaints, that taxi drivers are long hauling a good 50% of the people who they take from the airport to their hotel. In other words, not taking the most direct, inexpensive route, but jumping on the freeway just to sort of pad their payment at the end. So the cab companies apparently are now negotiating, and they're making some sort of a big to-do about the fact that we're going to have flat fees to different parts of the Strip. But I took a look at the fees, and just from my memories and my experiences, it seems to me like that the fees that they're charging to go to many of these hotels are the fees that we would have considered outrageous and would have considered to be sort of long-hauled fees, and now they're just building them in to the price of the product so that we won't be offended by it. So if I pay $25 to go to the Venetian, and you know it should have only been $15 because they didn't take the most direct route, I get offended. But if it's a $25 flat fee, I'm okay with that. And that brings us around to the biggest fees, then the fee that annoys the most people, and the fee that gets the most to do, and the fee that's now the subject of legislation and lawsuits, and that is the dreaded resort fee. Again, I'm not a fan of the resort fee, but if they do manage to get rid of the resort fee, the price of your room is not going to come down, people. No. Right now, yeah, it says the room's $100. It ends up being $150 because of the ridiculous resort fee. But you know what? If they ban the resort fee, pretty soon the room will just cost $150. You're not going to save any money. The hidden fees are annoying. They add up. They irritate us because we're not always expecting them. But if they weren't there, all of those fees would be built into the cost that you pay anyway. Okay? I guess the point I would ask is don't get too worked up about this stuff. I don't know about the rest of you, but decades ago I learned how to read. And so before I commit myself to purchasing anything or staying somewhere or utilizing a service, I do some research and I read the fine print. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a $30 a night resort fee. I have to kind of figure that into my budget and my calculation. So it's annoying, but the solution to the problem is probably not going to make your room cheaper. It's not going to make your taxi ride cheaper. Hey, take an Uber or Lyft anyway. Who's riding in taxis nowadays? I don't know. So those sorts of fees get on people's nerves, and they have these CFF fees at certain restaurants now. Again, guess what? If they got rid of them, they would just jack the prices up. People like to talk about, and they like to rant about different fees and about what things cost in Las Vegas. They put nice videos, and it's, they say fees, fees, fees. Or they say 10 ways Las Vegas is ripping you off. Or don't ever do these 5 things in Las Vegas. And in principle, a lot of them may be good pieces of advice, but the net effect is sort of a sensationalist approach to Las Vegas tippery, we'll call it, that I think does a disservice to Las Vegas, and it does a disservice to the people considering visiting Las Vegas. I'll touch on a couple more topics that, and some of the things that people say. They say, don't ever use an ATM in a casino. Yeah, they charge more. But if I have to walk 2 miles to get to my own bank ATM in the middle of some sketchy neighborhood in order to avoid a $5 or $10 fee, it's not worth it to me. I know some people feel comfortable carrying their entire bankroll around with them or keeping it with them throughout the trip. If you do, that's great. I don't. I would prefer to take it out in small chunks, and to me the convenience is more than worth the whatever charges I incur. I'm not taking out $20 at a time, okay? If you are, then yeah, I don't use an ATM. Take out more so you're not using it repeatedly. I usually try to take out enough for a day or two. Yes, be aware of the charges, but B, is sometimes getting around the fees and avoiding the fees is taking more of your time and energy than it's worth. So just keep that in mind. The other one is never you buy anything out of the hotel minibar. You hear that one a lot. Oh, it's outrageous. And it is. It is. It's just like food at the airport. It's outrageous. It's not always as outrageous as you think. Yeah, I don't know that I need an $18 bag of nuts and candies. Or a $30 Love packet. But I will not be ashamed to say that I have grabbed a beer here and there out of the mini fridge late at night when I was not desiring to go back down into the casino. And yeah, I think I paid like $8, $10, $12 for a beer, which is a lot. But go to most casino bars and just ask for a beer and see what they charge you. Unless something's on special, that's not far off what they're going to charge you. And in addition, you could of course sit down and gamble. But if you're like me, you've had plenty of $21, $41, and even $101 beers. And that's much more expensive than grabbing a Heineken out of the mini bar at the Wynn. Which, yeah, I did that. So, again, parking fees. There's another one. Try to put things a little bit in perspective here. If you go to any major city in the United States and you go into the central business district, which the Strip is the central business district of Las Vegas. Now, if you can find a parking place that's halfway convenient, you're going to pay much more than you pay in Las Vegas. Just like you'll pay more for a decent hotel room in places like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, etc. So again, helps to put things in a little bit of perspective. And that's another thing with Las Vegas fees, is even when you add it all up, things are still normally significantly cheaper than what you would get somewhere else. So again, I'm not saying that if you're critical of fees that that's wrong, and that I support this stuff. I don't. But don't get obsessive about it. Don't let it ruin your vacation. You're spending, say $200, $300 to fly to Las Vegas. You stay in a nice hotel, you might be, particularly over the weekend, you might be spending $200 or $300 a night to stay there. You're going to a show that costs you $150. You're playing $25 a hand blackjack. Or you're punching the slot machine at $1 or $2 a spin 20 or 30 times a minute. $5, $10. Put it in perspective. Don't be the guy who comes back from Las Vegas after losing thousands of dollars and brags about the time that he got this $2.99 steak special, which he doesn't bother to tell you he took a cab 10 miles off strip to get. Put it in perspective. So that's my anti-rant on Las Vegas fees and never do this. What do you think? Do you disagree? Do you think all these fees are the tool of the devil? They might be. But again, remember, put it in perspective. Just like everything in life, try to put it in perspective. Don't be the sensational journalist. Be the debunker. Alright, well, we'll be back on Wednesday. We will have, I think we have a couple more Vegas videos in the can. I wasn't that thrilled with how the Vegas walk video turned out, but I hope some of you enjoyed that. But I do have one more sort of walkthrough piece, and then I'm going to do a sort of extended piece of the footage that I did, or the photos that I took at the Neon Museum. So that'll be coming up here over the next couple of weeks. Probably the last 6 weeks or so of the year there will not be a Wednesday video because there won't really be any additional footage. So again, at that point I think it'll be a good time to go back and take a look at the website and update the pages, because things do change and some of the information could be out of date. So check that out below. Also, if you check out the links below, you go all the way to the bottom, you'll find an email address for a man by the name of Paul Sculpher. I think I'm pronouncing that right, sorry Paul, who is an independent host and can help hook you up with a good room rate, even if you've not gambled somewhere before, and he can help make sure that you get the best comps that you're entitled to without you having to have awkward conversations with hosts. And a while back I partnered up with Paul, and we've had a couple of folks that have taken advantage of his service, and he kicks back just a little bit of what he makes to me. So it's a great way to support Vegas Tips and Tricks if you'd like to do that. And Paul's a good guy, you know, he's kept me on board. If you do get in touch with Paul, make sure you let him know you heard about it here first. Alright, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're telling all your family and friends. When we get to that 1,000 subscriber, we're going to have a celebration. We're going to give away a Matt Bridger t-shirt. And so you'll want to make sure that happens soon so you can get that t-shirt in time for the holiday giving season. Thanks again for watching, for putting up with my array of colorful t-shirts and my array of out-of-date Las Vegas books in the background. We will talk to you again next week. Until then, I hope that you have a great and lucky week, and we'll see you soon.